The first step of our yoga practice is to consciously link breath and body. We do this by allowing every movement to be led by the breath as we practice the asanas. Recognizing our personal starting point begins with the exploration of the body, including the breath. The breath is the link between the inner and outer body. It is only by bringing body, breath, and mind into unison that we realize the true quality of an asana. If we want to make this principle of asana practice a reality, we have to accept ourselves just as we are. Normally, we are not conscious of our breathing. It is an automatic process and we do it without will or volition. For breath and movement to be coordinated, our mind must attentively follow their union. When we do this, inhalation and exhalation are no longer automatic, but become a conscious process. There are two ways of practicing an asana. The dynamic practice gives us greater possibilities for bringing breath to particular parts of the body and heightening the intensity of the effect. The dynamic practice repeats the movement into the asana and out again in rhythm with the breath. Dynamic movements allow the body to get used to the position gently and gradually. For this reason, it is always better to practice an asana dynamically first, before attempting to hold it. In static practice, we move into and out of the pose in the same way as with the dynamic practice. But instead of staying in continual movement with the breath, we hold the pose for a certain number of breath cycles, directing our attention towards the breath, certain areas of the body, or both, depending on the goals we have for performing that particular asana. The three most important bandhas are the Jalandhara bandha, the Uddiyana bandha, and the Mula bandha. Jalandhara bandha involves the neck and upper spine and makes the whole spine erect. Uddiyana bandha focuses on the area between the diaphragm and the floor of the pelvis. Mula bandha involves the area between the navel and the floor of the pelvis. Something else that is important in the way we plan our yoga practice: rest. We must, of course, rest whenever we become out of breath or are no longer able to control our breath. Even if our breathing remains quiet and regular, certain parts of the body may become tired or perhaps sore, and we must rest them as well. There is only one rule to follow regarding rest. If we need a rest, we take one. The term krama refers to the technique of connecting your yoga poses in a series. The connected movement and postures will then connect you to your breath. Practicing kramas will teach you to control your breath while moving, and you will also learn how the breath starts another movement. Bend your knees and lower your hips, coming into a squat. Separate your thighs so they are slightly wider than your torso. Drop your torso slightly forward and bring your upper arms to the inside of your knees. Press your elbows along the inside of your knees and bring your palms together in prayer position, Anjali Mudra. Bring your palms to the mat. Spread your fingers and press evenly across both palms and through your knuckles. Press your shins against the back of your upper arms. Draw your knees in as close to your underarms as possible. Lift onto the balls of your feet as you lean forward. Round your back and draw your abdominal muscles in firmly. Keep your tailbone tucked in toward your heels. Gaze down. Place the top of your head on the floor. Keeping your knees bent and together, slowly straighten both legs to the ceiling. Focus on a point. Keep pushing your hands into the floor and breathe slowly and deeply. Great job, Yogi. Namaste. In yoga, mudras are hand gestures used in conjunction with pranayama. Mudras act to stimulate different parts of the body involved with breathing and to affect the flow of energy in the body and even one's mood. The specific hand gestures and position act as locks to guide energy flows and reflexes to the brain. To practice Anjali Mudra, place your hands before you, palms up against each other. Now feel the solar current in your right hand and the lunar current in your left. Now experience the central energy channel that runs along your spine and your heart, representing the place of union between the two energies expressed through your hands. Savastika Mudra has the same effect as Anjali Mudra, but often with the quality of reverence and intimacy. The arms combine the quality of embracing yourselves with the quality of auspiciousness, the feeling of life and its regenerative blessing. Abhaya Hidaya Mudra, Courageous Heart Mudra. Cross your hands in front of your chest with the back of your hands touching, right hand closest to your heart. Interlink your little, ring, and middle fingers and then join the tips of your index finger and thumb with both hands to form two circular rings. With your hands in front of your heart, release any fear or doubt by feeling the awakened presence emanating from your heart. Hidaya Padma Mudra, also known as Lotus Mudra. It embodies the lotus flower. The lotus flower is sacred. It symbolizes purity of heart and soul. The lotus flower grows from the muck and mud of the pond into such a pristine expression of Mother Nature, just as we grow more and more compassionate and open-hearted through our own suffering. 15 billion years ago, before the beginning, in the studio of eternity, there was a blank canvas, nothingness, pregnant with the possibility of everything. Then, a miracle, our collective being, the divine artist, the creator, God, aching to express, to exist, exploded itself, ourself, into a cascade of light selves, a cosmic orgasm. Big banged us into creation, perfect in ratios, rhythms, and forms. The universe is a storm of light emerging, ever birthing, ever dying. Plasma selves, atom selves, molecular selves, cell selves, conscious lumps of DNA, ascending selves, scaling, evolving chains of being, souls inside brightening, hardening into botanical and biological bodies, plant self, animal self, myself, yourself, ourselves, family selves, city selves, nation selves. An earth full of eyes sees everything on earth, and we are that. Planet self, Star self, galactic self, self as galactic cluster, self as an entire web of cosmos with amnesia. Our current artistic dilemma is to wake up to the truth that we are the one God self, creating the universe every day.